Former Vice President and 2020 Democratic presidential contender Joe Biden made a quick entrance and exit Sunday, avoiding the media at a private campaign fundraiser in the Dunthorpe area.
Mr. Vice President.
Supporters and donors filled this private home for the chance to see and hear from Biden. That includes high-profile local figures like Beaverton Mayor Denny Doyle and Jordan Schnitzer, who walked to the home while others were shuttled in.
How are you?
Congressman Kurt Schrader was there too, throwing his support behind the former vice president.
I think he's going to win. He's one of those few charismatic individuals that when you meet him and you talk to him, you know, he really cares about you.
Cameras weren't allowed inside the event, but we could hear Biden's speech from just outside. He covered much of what you'd expect while addressing the crowd: worries about corruption within the current administration, foreign policy, and income equality for the middle class. Subjects former U.S. Attorney Dwight Holton says fits with Portland's democratic ideals.
Frankly, I think the vice president understands our values, understands our progressive approach to problem solving in Oregon, and he's got very specific ideas about how we get there and get it done.
Political expert Len Bergstein says attendees got to see a more personal side of Biden Sunday as he offered up his life experiences to illustrate the issues.
I think people got a really kind of a very personal view of it and kind of cut through a lot of the stereotypes we see on the national narrative about whether or not he's got it going or not.
But some on social media were critical of Biden's visit and the minimum $1,000 price tag to attend. Chris Hoy commented on the location in an affluent neighborhood, saying he doesn't want the vote of the working man, just the votes of the elites. Don Fisher also calling out Biden for today's event, saying in part he'll just keep catering to the elites, not learning any lessons along the way. However, Bergstein is quick to point out that this is still early in the race, and we could likely see the return of Biden in a more public capacity later on.
We are an ATM. We're a place where people come to raise money at this point in the campaign. We're not going to be a battleground state for Democrats, really, and even for the general. But we are a battleground state on a bunch of issues, and I think Biden and the other Democratic candidates, as we get closer to the election, will come here and talk about things that will resonate not only with Oregonians, but with the rest of the country.